What's up guys, Scott here from Chernobyl Studios, doing something a little bit different today, doing a little bit more video camera work, trying to, with a nice little camera screen and making it all awesome in Streamlabs OBS. That doesn't matter. Today we're looking at a new plugin. It's completely free from Nembrini Audio. If that name sounds familiar, it's because I just did a review of their VST 100 a couple weeks ago. TLDR, it's fracking amazing. You should go check it out. There'll be a card in whatever window. I'm not used to doing this, so one of these two corners here, you can go check out that video review. So let's go ahead and check out what I created with this brand new amp simulator. Before we do that, please subscribe, hit like, hit that bell notification button. It really helps me out. I'm getting a big surge of subscribers right now. It's really helping the channel out, and I'm really considering doing this stuff full time, which would mean more videos and more content for you guys. So let's jump into Cubase here and let's see what we have. As you can see, it's only double tracked. I didn't do any quad tracking or any studio magic. I was showing you guys here my settings that I used for the Crunk version 2 guitar amplifier. Now I do have the cabinet bypassed. It's a 4x12 B30 Mesa. I don't really like to use Mesas all the time. I like to have my own voice. Everyone's using Mesa right now, so I generally get away from Mesa and I try to come up with a different sounding cabinet. In this case, I've been experimenting with the Celestion Plus cabinet packs. This particular one is a G12 Creamback 4x12. It's a blend of a 121 and a 57. The reasons why I went for this one first was because these are some of the speakers that Carl Sanders used to use in Nile. Actually, I think he might be using them right now. But I really like Nile's guitar tone, and I like that gritty upper presency range they usually have. So that's why I went with this particular speaker, and it made a world of difference. Now if we go to the store page here, it's all completely free, and you can download this, no iLok required. It's a remake of the original plugin I guess he made 10 years ago, so it's definitely upgraded, definitely has better DSP, better sounding, it's better sound, better programs, so on and so forth. Completely free. And guys, I have to say, if you are getting tired of Emissary 2.0 or any of the other, Lapoo and all these other free plugins, which are awesome, of course, I'm not talking down on them. This is just another thing to add to your arsenal. And it's cool because it's really, really easy to tweak, get a great tone if you know what you need to do. So let's go over a little bit of what I did EQ-wise when working with this guitar tone. Now, it's pretty standard that when you work with high gain stuff like this, you want to pick the cab first. That's just my, it's what you should do. And after that, you need to do some resonance hunting. Now, for me personally, it's not at all unusual when you start working with free plugins that you might have to do more than you normally would have to do with, the more professional plugins out there. So with a completely free plugin like this, I've done not a lot of EQ, but I definitely did some work. I did some dynamic EQ here because I wanted to help my multiband out a little bit, because the big palm mute sections, this was really exploding the EQ. So I decided to just do dynamic EQ here instead of always having the multiband stomp down on it. I have a whistle with my guitar, and this range is always a whistle. This was the BC Rich Revenge, the white one. tuned to E flat standard, well, E flat, I guess, so a half step down. And then these are all just really tiny resonances that came through with the cabinet impulse that need to be cleaned up to help the tone come through. Same thing here. Some impulses, or excuse me, some impulses just require more digital work. So if we were to look at these, let me actually go here, and I'll bypass everything except this is basically L1. This is the Joel Wanasek bus glue for guitars. I really like it. We'll be talking about that later on. But this is what the guitars sound like right with the settings, not straight out of the box, but with the cabinet impulse that I picked. So it has a great aggressive heavy metal, punchy, like, hey, in your face rhythm guitar tone. I really like it. So when I enable these EQ plugins here, you're gonna see, oh wow. So when you know how to EQ your tone and what to do and what not to do, you're able to take free plugins like this and you're really able to make them come to life, right? So I will enable this one by one as the riff is playing. Now remember, the whole nature of EQ is not to change the initial tone or the quality of the guitar tone. You can't do that. That's why you pick the cabinet first. The whole point of EQ is to get rid of like the milkiness so that the tone of the guitar can shine through. You want to get rid of those resonances, those honky frequencies, the mid-range mud that's covering up the actual tone of your guitar tone. And when I A-B this particular EQ, you hear a night and day difference. But the original qualities don't really go away, do they? So you can hear a total night and day difference between those two EQs. Same thing with the next one. Now, some people, myself included, I like to do as little EQ as possible. Sometimes it's just not the case. You got to do what is required for the guitars or whatever you're working on to sound good. There were still some problems here, so I took care of them. So this EQ is massive because it's taking care of a huge spot here where it's masking a huge part of the tone. Now, another thing I did with this particular EQ is I made it 3 dB louder. It was getting pretty quiet, and so I decided to boost it by 3 dB. But this section right here, this cleans up the guitar tone massively, and you can hear a lot more of that speaker cabinet coming out now. It's amazing. Now the next plugin is Soothe. This is something new that I'm working with. It's just basically to make the guitar tone sound more smooth and less harsh, which is the whole point of Soothe, right? It's all completely stock settings. I just moved this particular node down to 32 Hertz. I didn't touch it otherwise. Just that's it. It does smooth out the little hissiness and the abrasiveness a tiny little bit. It doesn't kill the tone, so that's important. It's very, very slight, nothing out of the ordinary. And then, of course, multiband. I'm cutting down a little bit on the highs, just a little bit, but I'm clamping down on the chuggy chug parts. Again, just a tiny little bit. So not really doing anything at all with the multiband. So this is the same thing I've always done. I've been showing you guys this for years. Absolutely nothing new. So the point here being that when you know how to process your tone and what's important, you can make anything sound good. Now this is a legit free amp simulator, and I'm using the Analog Rack Screamer from Nembrini Audio, and this thing is legit. It was very easy to set up. I think I had this tone within 2 or 3 minutes. Changed the cab, boom, had a tone, really enjoyed it. double track the guitars, which sound huge, and with the mix, it just sounds freaking incredible. All right, that's really all I did, guys. I wish I could make the video longer and more in-depth, but I didn't do anything crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. I do want to say though, guys, if you would like to get more specific tips about how I'm working with my guitars and how I am working with mixes in general, please consider signing up to my email newsletter. There's a link down below in the description. It's just an email newsletter. It's nothing crazy. I email about 1 to 3 times, usually twice a week. Notifying when I upload new YouTube videos and talking about stuff exactly like this. How, mistakes to avoid, what you can really do, what actually matters, how I, go about mixing, and how I, think and why I do what I do. It's just a nice way to get closer contact with you, because the YouTube platform is changing a lot, and tomorrow it could all go away. And I don't really feel comfortable with that. So I'd like to have a much closer relationship with you guys by being able to just go, boom, here you go. Here's stuff to your email. Here, hopefully it's useful content. If not, you can unsub at any time. There's always an unsubscribe link in every email. But would really like to grow my community that way, so I can just talk with you guys directly. The comments are cool and stuff, but sometimes I miss them, or they completely get overlooked, or they don't get answered. And with email, it's just, there's nothing between us, right? Just boom, here's my email, here's your email. We'd like to be able to send you emails, a couple times a week of things going on in my life, new YouTube videos, mixing tips, guitar tone crafting tips, everything like that. Of course, please also hit like and subscribe on my channel. The bell notification also helps. Like I say, I am really considering putting, full-time work into this and staying at the studio and at the home and doing this full time to make awesome content. One thing I did forget to mention is that sometimes I do poll my email subscribers about videos that they would want to see next. If you remember, there was an Orb Composer review. There was a Eurobase 2 review. Those were 2 videos that email subscribers directly contacted me and were like, yeah, we would like to see videos about those 2 products. So you have a voice, and you never know, your suggestion could be the next video that I create. Alright guys, thanks for checking out the video. It's totally new for me. I'm doing this pretty much live off the cuff. As you can see, the camera here is rolling. Sorry if the delivery was a bit not what you're used to hearing, because everything used to be very tightly controlled and edited and recorded, so it was perfect. So now it's not quite like that. I'm just going to edit out the really nasty things that I said and the really brain farty moments. But if you have any questions about Nembrini Audio, this particular plugin, or guitars, leave them in the comments below. Subscribe to my email newsletter. A lot of cool stuff always happening there. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.